Hello friends, today I'll be showing you the velocity and time graph and help you understand it in the most easiest way possible. If you're new to my channel Science and Compass, make sure you like and subscribe to stay connected and get an instant notification each time I upload a new physics video. I will be sharing lots of videos on physics where I will walk you through the concepts step by step and give you tons of problem solving questions. My main goal is to make you fall in love with physics by explaining complicated concepts in an easily approachable manner. Now, let's get back to our graph. So, what do we have here? In front of us, we have this velocity and time graph. In the y-axis, we have velocity that is measured in meter per second. And on the x-axis, we have time measured in seconds. And as you can see, I have kept a car over here. And just by looking at this graph, we can tell how the car moves with respect to time. We have the numbers over here and over here. So let's just begin from 0. So as the car moves, it gains speed. So at time 1 second, the car is moving at 5 meters per second. So from 0 to 1, the car has reached 5 meters per second. That's what it means. And as the car continues to move, the velocity would increase, as you can see in the graph. So this is 5, and then it goes to 6 meter per second, 7 meters per second, 8, 9, 10. And at time 2 seconds, the car reaches a velocity of 10 meters per second. And now you can see that the line goes downwards. What does that even mean? It means that now the velocity of the car is decreasing, eventually becoming 0 at time 3 seconds. The velocity then becomes a negative after time 3 seconds. You can see right here. And as you can see, the velocity shows a negative number, which is minus 5 meter per second at time 3.5 seconds. It means that at time 3.5 seconds, the car is now moving at a velocity of minus 5 meter per second. So from time 3.5 seconds onwards, you will notice that the line is a steady line, which is just going forward. That means that the velocity is now steady, or the car is moving at a constant rate of minus 5 meter per second. So at time 4 seconds, the velocity is minus 5 meter per second. At time 5 seconds, the velocity is minus 5 meter per second. And at time 6 seconds, the velocity is again minus 5 meter per second. Now, if I want to find out the acceleration, how should I go about it? So let me just write the word acceleration. We need a formula, okay? So acceleration, this is how we write. A bar equals v minus v naught divided by t. It's not complicated at all, and I will tell you in a minute. So a bar actually means average acceleration. I'll just write it ACC, okay? And this v over here, that's the final velocity. Now this v naught is the initial velocity or the starting velocity, and t is nothing but the elapsed time. Okay, elapsed time. Now we just have to plug in the numbers. Find out the acceleration between 0 seconds to time 2 seconds. So this is what I'm asking you to find out over here, this one. Okay, so during this time period 0 second to 2 seconds, you need to find out the acceleration of this car. So what do? We just write down we just plug in the numbers. So here it is. So a bar, this is what we're trying to find out, the average acceleration of this car. and we need to find out the final velocity. Well, over here you can see the graph, and the car reached the final velocity at 10 meters per second. So you just have to write the number 10 minus, and we have to plug in V naught. V naught is nothing but the initial velocity. And we know that at initial velocity, the car was at 0 meters per second. So we just write a 0 over there, dividing that with the elapsed time. Now, the time that I've told you is between 0 to 2 seconds. So 0 times 0 is the initial time, and the final time is 2 seconds. So once again, we just write like the same how we have written for velocity. So we write the final time. So the final time is 2 right over there, minus, and the initial time was 0 seconds. So we just write a 0 over here. Okay. So when we, oh, by the way, you can write the units as well. Let's not forget that. So this is meter per second, and this would be in seconds. So we, just to keep everything consistent, we can write the units as well. And then when we do the math, we get the answer as 5 meter per second square. So this is your average acceleration. The car is accelerating at 5 meters per second square between the time period 0 and 2 seconds. That's what it means. And now if I want to find out the acceleration between time 2 to time 3.5 seconds, so here we are, 2 to 3.5 seconds. This, if I want to find out the acceleration between time 2 seconds till time 3.5 seconds, how we should go about it? We can plug in the numbers again. Okay, so here we are, a bar, that's the average acceleration, equals, now we need to find out the final velocity. So final velocity at 3.5 seconds is minus 5. So you just mention a minus 5 over here, and you put a minus symbol in between, and V naught is the initial velocity. So initial in this case is not taken as 0, but it was taken as the previous one. This is 10. So that would be your initial velocity. From there, we are calculating. So we need to mention 10 over here. So that's 10 meters per second. Minus 5 meters per second, minus 10. Dividing that with the elapsed time. So the time that we are talking about, the time period that we're talking about is between 2 seconds and 3.5 seconds. So we clearly know that 3.5 seconds would be your final time, and the initial time is taken as 2. So you put minus 2 and put an S, which is seconds. And when you do the math, you will get the answer as minus 10 meter per second squared. Okay, you got a minus symbol there. So between time 2 to time 3.5, the object, that is the car, experienced a negative acceleration. We know that, right? Okay, from here all the way here. So from right there, the car going down all the way down over here, it has experienced a negative acceleration. Now between time 2 seconds to time 3 seconds, the object or the car's velocity was slowed down. We know that just by looking at this. The car is slowing down, right? Till it reached 0 meter per second. Now between time 3 seconds to time 3.5, the car began increasing its velocity, but in the opposite direction. And that's where you get the negative 5. All right. So we got the acceleration between the time period of 2 seconds and 3.5 seconds. The average acceleration experienced by the car is minus 10 meter per second squared. Now another reminder, so when the velocity is 0, acceleration will also be 0. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Stay connected.